too old for this shit.
Hoppy, I think I'm getting too old for this stuff.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Too old for this shit. I'm too old for this.
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm too old for this shit.
Good evening, YouTube. Retro Prime here again. I love an ice cold drink of Coke. I want to do another video. It's a follow up to the one I did about mental health in the community. Because as well as people sort of saying that their collecting habits and the way they feel about it is affected by if they're having a shit time in life, one of the other things I've seen is people saying, I'm feeling like I'm getting too old for this. I'm starting to feel like collecting isn't my thing anymore because I've outgrown it. And with my 40th birthday coming up in a few months, it's a question that I've been asking myself as well. I started collecting 8 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, and all through my life I'd wanted to collect things like gaming and Transformers and retro figures, like figures for the 80s that I grew up with. I never did it for any particular reason. Looking back retrospectively, I think it was because I kind of felt like, what am I just going to start spending my money on toys and stuff? Didn't really I could never justify it to myself. And then, and especially like my friends now who collect Transformers or retro gaming or that kind of things, it's a kind of more, as we've gone into our later years that we've started doing it. We've had these things all through our lives, not so much the toys, but the computer games. But it's just recently a lot of us have started collecting them and sort of enjoying that as a hobby, a sort of actual hobby rather than just things we have in our house for our childhood. And so when I started buying Transformers, it was for two reasons. One, I had friends who did it, so I wanted to sort of join in and be part. Two, because my wife, or then girlfriend, kind of just supported me and was like, well, if you want to buy toys, buy toys. There was no judgment. There was no sort of like, oh, come on, you can spend your money on better stuff. She was like, yeah, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. And if there was something I saw, gaming-wise or transformer-wise, she'd either buy it for me or just say, let's go and get it. So having someone who supported me and having friends who did the same stuff kind of helped me just enjoy it more and relax into it. So I didn't feel like it was anything to do with we try to capture my childhood or living in nostalgia. It was just something I thought, I want to do this and I'm going to do it. And I did. But a couple of things have happened recently, or have occurred over the last few years, that have made me question how I collect and why I collect and if I want to continue collecting. One, my daughter came along. She's 4 now. So any spare time I have in the house while she's up is spent on her. I mean, don't get us wrong, we do cut about and do any things, but 90% of the time my focus is on her, or my wife. And so I find during the day any spare time I've got has to be, or should be, not has to be, that sounds like it's a chore, should go towards family stuff, like making sure the house is tidy and making sure they're fine and that she's having fun and she's okay and putting your effort into making sure she's a happy child and stuff. And then when she goes to bed, and this may go along with the age thing, I'm too tired. I'm far too tired. She goes to bed at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock most nights. And she goes to bed, read her a story, and that's it, she's out. But when she's in bed, it's tidy the house, get everything ready for sitting down and enjoying TV and spending time with the wife. And even the nights I do just go, I'm just going to play the computer or I'm just going to sit in my games room and just play with some Transformers. By the time that comes round, I'm just like, can't be bothered. And it's just, I find myself spending less and less time playing with my collection and enjoying my collection. On the flip side of that though, we moved house recently, and I never had a designated area because it was a smaller house, but we've kind of managed to create this area for me. It's the living room's huge, like muckle, and we've split it down the middle with a sort of room divider, and this half of the room is my stuff, like games and Transformers and things, and that half of the room is like the Bairn stuff and like the living room, like where we sit and sort of relax as a family. And having this area to come and sit in, while I'm not using it often, it does help when it comes to relaxing and stuff. So I am enjoying the little time I am spending with my collections and stuff. Sorry, I'm spitting. The more, it's like quality time rather than just like having loads of time but not really enjoying it. So it's almost like quality over quantity when it comes to relaxing with my stuff. But as I'm heading towards 40, I've always had part of the sort of shit mindset, shit life, kind of things happening in life that make you sort of go down in the community and make you feel like, I don't want to collect anymore. That was part of it recently where I was like, oh God, I've got all this stuff going on, all this grown up shit, this real life shit happening. Should I really be spending money and time with toys? And that definitely got to the point where I was like, no, I don't want to. This is just, I'm too old for this shit. I don't want to do it. I'm sick of it. I shouldn't be doing it. But it was coming from a negative place. It was coming from a place of pain and sort of like suffering or whatever. So it wasn't a true thing. It wasn't something that came from truth or from growth. So I should have, and I'm glad I did not listen to it. And then I go back into enjoying it and stuff. But now that I'm turning 40, it feels like the right time to really slow down and stop buying loads and loads of shit. Enjoy what I've got, create a wee space, like a wee nest for myself, and that's my place to relax. Really slow down what I buy, slow down what I do, and just try and enjoy the moments that I do get to myself. And it means that I'm going to buy less. Like, even the Siege line looks amazing for Transformers, and there's things I want gaming wise, like I really want a Switch, but I know I'm not going to spend that much time on them or with them or using them, so I kind of feel like there's no point in paying money for more clutter when I should really be enjoying the things I've got. Like I said, I've chucked like 2 boxes, maybe 200 Transformers up in the loft. And my gaming collection I was going to cut right the way down, but my wife kind of made the space work, so we didn't have to do that. But since I've done that, since I've got rid of the clutter, I felt so much better. And when I do come into this room, I don't feel like it's a kid's room. I just feel like it's mine, part of me. And because my mindset, I mean, there's shit going on that means I'm not very happy now. But it's like shit that I can't really do anything about. So I don't let it affect me. I just kind of sort of deal with it. So coming in here is kind of awesome and cool, and it does make me feel better, but I don't want to add to it anymore. I've even thought about getting rid of a lot of stuff and then just like swapping the stuff that I've got that I don't necessarily enjoy that much or really want that much for things I really do. So instead of growing a collection, I want to sort of refine it, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm really thirsty now. I think what's wrong. I should really stick some vodka in that, seeing as I'm off this week. So I think there is a time that collecting should get the brakes put on it, I think. Maybe not for everybody. Especially if you're an actual, true, genuine third party or vintage or something collector. I mean, I think you can be a professional collector or the equivalent of. You get the best of the best, you buy the best of the best. Your collection is actually something that other people would love to just come and visit and see. And the same with gaming, there's a vintage to both sort of hobbies. And there are people out there, you see their collections, you think, fucking, that's like a museum, that's amazing. Whereas mine is just like a ragtag collection of just shit that I want and have and bought and stuff. It's not really, my collecting never really set out with a goal. It was just buy, enjoy. And it is, I'm proud of what I've got and I'm happy with what I've got, but it's no, I've got good pieces and here and there, but nothing that anyone's going to be like, oh, I really, really want that, oh, and nothing certainly that anyone would really, I think anyway, want to see, maybe. That just might be my sort of poor self-image and poor sort of self-esteem saying that, but because I know that for every person you look at and go, God, I'd love that collection, someone else has looked at yours and went, God, I'd love that collection. So we should just be happy with what we've got, I suppose. But yeah, I really do think there is an age where especially if you've got family and kids, the shift in your life goes right to them after a certain time. I mean, maybe it's just back when your kids are older. I mean, my kid is young, so you've got to remember that's the point of view I'm seeing from. Maybe when she gets older and fucks off, and I'm still kicking, hopefully, it'll go back to me. But even then, I can't see myself playing with toys when I'm 60. I really can't. I might have a collection of stuff on a wall in a cabinet and walk past it and go, I remember the days. But I can't see myself. I don't know. It is a sort of ongoing question I ask myself. Will I be collecting? Should I be collecting? Especially when money's tight. It's like, how viable is a hobby? And when does it become something you should just not put energy and effort into? I suppose when you stop enjoying it is the ultimate answer. Yeah. I don't really... I want to get this out of there because I've seen a few folks saying I'm getting a bit old for this now. Yeah. There's certainly a time, though, when too old for it, I'm too old for this shit. It should only ever come from you. It should never come from somebody else. If your parents or your partner or your kids... that was a stupid example. Your kids are never going to say it. Maybe they will. But if you're getting all this, you're too old for this, you're getting too old for this, you're getting too old for this, and it goes against what you believe, if you're like sitting thinking, well, I don't feel too old and I'm not too old and, you know, I'm enjoying it, so why should I not do it? There's loads of stuff I could be spending my money on, drinks and drugs and prostitutes. I couldn't think of something else. Destructive hobbies or destructive activities and pastimes, shall we say? If people are just saying, because sometimes people do understand. People even that are close to you, they understand, and you should know listen to that. If they were gone or no saying that stuff, and you were still quite happy to collect, then you should be. So I don't think age. I don't think you should look at your calendar and go, right, 54 I am. That's just too old. That's it. I think it's definitely a person by person decision that should be made. I only feel like I should slow down because I've not got the money or the time, and I'd rather have what money and what time I've got invested in my family rather than just play with toys and stuff. But if you've not got those things to think about, then and you've got the money to buy them, why should you not? I suppose. What does it come down to? What does it mean to be? What does I'm too old mean? Because usually in a hobby, any other hobby, too old means I can't. Like I'm too old to. I can't race drive anymore. I'm too old to. Can't hand glide. I'm too old to. Can't fly a plane. I'm too old to. Technically, you should never be too old to collect Transformers. I think, or collect video games. Your thumbs, I suppose, and stuff for transforming and for playing on consoles and things might eventually give out on your eyesight or whatever. But there are other avenues to enjoy these things in. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's just, am I too old? Are you too old? You decide, I'll decide. We'll all decide for each other. And that's how it should be, I think. There we go. Another wee waffly video from me. Because age is on my mind just now. Dealt with a lot of deaths. Dealing with a lot of grey pubes. and it's just on my mind constantly. I think it's a thing when you hit your 40s, or maybe you're heading towards your 40s. Age and time become a constant companion. Oh, that sounds quite dear. But it's no. But it is on your mind constantly, I think. Yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think there'll ever be an age where you go, nah, I'm just too old for it because I just feel too old, or I think I am too old? Or do you think you should collect until you die? Transformers and game until you die? Yeah, I'd love to hear from you and leave comments below. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon after I've drunk all this nice, delicious Coke.